It's time for the review of Raw for Monday, May 19th. Overall, this was an okay show. It wasn't bad at all, so we're going to get right into it. And if you're enjoying the content, just subscribe, hit the like, leave a comment, whatever. You know what you got to do. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. The audio cut off a little bit, so let's just get right into it. Logan comes out, does his thing. Then Gunther comes out, and Gunther says, hey, Logan, buddy, if you somehow make it through Jay, you're going to make it through me, and I'm going to kick your butt. And then Gunther leaves, and Jay sneaks up on Logan Paul and gives him a big old kick. Right on. That was kind of cool. It was a better segment than how they usually do this. I can't get all up on my haterade about it. I was entertained. I watched the whole segment. Cool. That one for me, it got a yay. It got a yay. It was fun. It was a fun segment. Can't hate on it too much. So let's move on to the next segment. We see Jay going backstage, and he meets up with Paul Heyman, and Paul tells him, "Fact. That title belongs to Seth. Fact." And all that, so that happens. Cool little segment between those two. And then we got AJ and Penta versus JD McDonough and Finn Balor. One thing that I have to point out about this one, the match was great. The match was fun. AJ can still go. AJ was fast. AJ has not slowed down at all. I really like the team up with AJ and Penta. I think those two should team up a lot more. In fact, I think even Finn should join them, and I think Karrion Kross should also do something with them. So it's like these four are in the island of irrelevancy. They need something to keep them relevant, because if you're not going for a title right now, it almost feels like you're nothing. So I enjoyed this match. It was fun. I didn't really like the ending. Grande Americano came out and interfered, hit Penta with the headbutt. That's what happened. Personally, I liked the match. It was a great match. Everyone got jobber entrances, which pissed me off. Penta got his beginning of his entrance filmed, and everything else went to commercial. We come back and AJ's already in the ring. That really pissed me off. AJ's entrances is one of my favorites. And I'll tell you why it pissed me off in a couple of minutes, because we're gonna get into something else that took up time tonight that we could have had given to any other wrestler. But whatever. I like being critical about the WWE as well, but gotta give it what it's due. This match was fun. Set up the storylines of. It continues the storylines. That's why it pisses me off a little bit, because this whole Penta and Grande Americano thing. We need to move it along already. And Judgment Day interference. If you're going into a Judgment Day match without expecting some Judgment Day interference, then you're clearly not watching the product. Overall, I'm gonna give this segment a yay. It was fun. It was entertaining. I watched it from beginning to end. I don't do that with all the matches, but this one was definitely one of those matches. So, yay. So Seth and Paul are making the rounds. We had a backstage segment with Logan and Seth, and Seth pretty much tells Logan, "Hey, if you survive Jay and you survive Gunther, I'm gonna be there on the other side." And whatever the hell, just setting up Seth versus Logan or something. Seth is just covering his bases, and it's fine. Didn't think much of this segment, to be honest. So then we move on to Money in the Bank qualifying match. Becky, Roxanne, and Natalya. I gotta give it, this was match of the night for me. Natalya has gotten so much better in the ring, so good in the ring. She was really fun to watch. Her moves were believable. Her punches were believable. Everything was really cool. There was just one segment where I think Roxy forgot her cue, and you can hear Becky yell, "Roxy!" for her to get back on track. The match was solid, though. Very fun to watch. And Roxy got the win, which was what we needed. It was perfect. So this one definitely got a golden yay. If you can tell where I'm taking this idea from, leave it down in the comments. This match definitely definitely made the night a lot more worth it. It was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna count all the spots and all the stuff that happened, but it was really good. So definitely one worth watching. The match ended with Lyra Valkyria whooping Becky's ass and Roxy getting Natalya for the pin, which was the right move. This was, from beginning to end, this was brilliantly executed, especially with Lyra coming in and interference with Becky. Yeah, good job. Then we have Sheamus versus Grayson Waller. Sheamus versus Grayson Waller was a predictable one from beginning to end. Completely predictable. Grayson Waller had a jobber entrance, so you couldn't tell that he was with Austin Theory with him there. So it kind of a flaw on this match, specifically because the whole point of it was setting up that Austin Theory is going to finally break up with Grayson Waller. The match was okay, nothing to write home about. I will give it a yay because I complain about the same thing, happening every week in the mid-card and no progress. This should have happened almost a half a year ago, but it's cool to finally see some storylines moving a little bit forward. So this was okay match. At some point, Austin Theory had a chance to help Grayson Waller out, and he didn't, which is, the payback for all the times that Grayson did the same thing with Austin Theory. So glad to see that storyline finally moving forward. You could have had a perfect show, man. Or at least as close to perfect as you can allow in this Triple H product. You could have had such a good show. Almost perfect. And you had this. 5 minutes of an interview. To announce that this guy is going to be a DLC package. And the interview isn't even live. And the interview is on Zoom! There are so many things I could say about this. So many things. And this is something that I would specifically focus on if I was drinking my haterade today. But I didn't. I didn't drink my haterade. I drank my loverade. So I'm gonna let this one. I'm not gonna let it pass. I'm gonna give it the emphasis that it needs, so that they understand how this is messed up. They gotta stop doing this to the fans. They gotta stop treating WWE like a billboard, and they gotta stop doing this. But they'll learn eventually, I guess, at some point. I really hope that this becomes the least downloaded DLC, the least purchased DLC. I hope everyone tuned out and the ratings dropped, so that they understand this is not something that we can allow. Then we had a Seth and Gunther segment. Seth told Gunther, I appreciate what you did with my heavyweight title. Seth is just covering the bases. He's just pretty much telling everybody, hey, can I please have a little match? Can I have a little match after you guys are done? I want my title back. Nothing to write home about on this segment. It was cool. Enjoyable at the very least. And then we had Rhea, Kyrie, and Zoe for the Money in the Bank. Zoe. We're all wishing you a speedy recovery, Zoe. Oh, God. Well, all of us except Rhea. Did you see how Rhea smirked when she saw Zoe get injured? I don't know if that was her character or if that was actually Rhea. But that was noteworthy. Rhea pins Kyrie for the win. I thought Kyrie was gonna win this one, rolling up Zoe. I don't know what changes had to be made because of the injury, but that's how this ended. Match was all right. I could not focus on anything on the match other than Rhea's butt and Zoe's knee. So this was mid. I can't really give it an up or a down, a yay or an A. I mean. So, okay. And we had a backstage segment with Roxy in the Judgment Day. I really enjoyed this. Finally, a fun Judgment Day segment. I have not enjoyed Judgment Day segments in a long time. They are the losers. They are boring. They are who gives a crap. Dom won that title, and, it's there, and that's it. I love Dom, but, and Liv's gone, so this was interesting. While Liv was gone, Finn decided to bring Roxy in, and everyone was like, I don't know. But Roxy gave Dom some chicken tenders, some nuggies, and Raquel was not happy about it. So this was cool. It was cool that we finally got some Judgment Day storylines that's going somewhere, something interesting happening, a new character, Roxy. I love Roxy. I can't with Roxy. She's just so cool. So she's definitely gonna add some life to this Judgment Day stagnant scenario that's been not moving for a long time. And last but not least, we got the Yeet versus the Wolf. It was predictable from beginning to end. We knew exactly what was going to happen. We knew that at some point Seth was going to get in there, beat up Jay. Then Sammy comes out. Then CM Punk came out, and it was a whole brawl fest. It was just literally everything that I said was going to happen in my predictions videos on TikTok. Go make sure you follow me on TikTok as well, Willie Chats Wrestling. And it just ends with a brawl off stage and credits roll. We couldn't see and Jay gets back in the ring and Logan punches him in the face, and cool, knocked out for the 4th week in a row. Overall, it was a regular Raw. It wasn't a bad Raw. I wish we could have this quality of Raw for every week. If we could have, at the very least, this quality of Raw every week, I think I wouldn't be complaining as much, and I wouldn't have opened up a YouTube channel to complain about Raw and SmackDown. So overall, this show gets a yay. It was entertaining. Storylines finally moved a little bit. Some stayed in the same place. We can't expect everything to move. But this definitely made me a little more hyped for Saturday night's main event. It made me a little more hyped for what's to come. So I'm going to leave it at that. It was an overall okay show. I didn't hate it. I'm happy. I'm happy that we got a show that wasn't horrible and didn't give me a lot to complain about. Except that Tyrese WWE DLC announcement. What were you guys thinking? So with that said, everyone, I think I'm going to leave it there for now. Subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like. I appreciate watching this video. Go check me out on TikTok, Willie Chats Wrestling. I do a lot more content over there as well. So thank you, and I will see you on Friday or Saturday.